we will analyze the first exam of this semester. And we will talk about how should students learn effectively and how can parents cooperate with the school to help their children in their studies. And also, Madam Ma will talk about the teaching plan of Alikaj and some advices on the online courses and the study methods. And the last part is the question and answer. So during the meeting, if the parents, you have some questions, you can type in the chat. Okay, so we will collect the questions and answer them after the presentation. Okay, and so let me first take several minutes to have a brief introduction of our school, because some parents are new to Alikaj. Alikaj is a renowned tutoring school for primary and secondary students in Quebec, specialized in preparing students to enter the best primary and secondary schools. The teaching results are satisfying and have a good reputation. Here's some brief introduction of Director Bradley Chao. He is the founder and director of Alikaj, as he has more than 30 years of experiences in scientific research, education, and administration. He is the recipient of Senate of Canada 150th anniversary commemorative medal, and he is honored the Grand Prix de promotion de francisation of la Francophonie in 2014 to 2018. And he is invited to sign the Golden Book of City of Montreal in 2018. And he is invited to meet the visiting China President Hu Jintao and in Ottawa in June 2010. He is honored the cover person in magazine China Fortune in 2009. And here's some photos of Bradley and received the awards. And here is the medal on the right side, which has the Bradley Zhao's name on it. And here's the photos that Bradley signed the Golden Book in the City Hall. And on the right side are the awards from the French promotion awards. So we have each year we have some competitions of math, French, and others. One of them is very popular is AQJM. We call it AQJM math contest. It's not only covered the math, also the logic. So the first round, the gut final, the first round of the contest will be held on the 27th November in the evening, and it's online. So the final will be in August 2022. It's in Europe, in Swiss. So the trip will be totally free. So that's why many students just want to try, and it's fun. Also, it's challenging. Also, we in our math course, we will give some preparations for the contest. We will explain the some questions of the AQJM contest in the previous year. So we really encouraged the students to participate. And next one is the winter camp. So it will be from December 20 to January 5th. And we offered many courses for different levels to improve their competence in French, math, and English. And in the afternoon, we also have the activities like the workshop, read, write, and tell your stories, which was very famous in college, in our college. And also the students love it so much. And we also have the dictation or the math games, something like that. So if you want registers, you can go to our website and to the registration. Okay, so here is the Facebook of our college. So if we will publish the news, yeah, so on that on Facebook, so you can just scan it and follow our school. Okay, so now I give the time to Director Chao, and he will start his presentation. Okay, if you have questions, you are always welcome to type in the chat. We will answer after. Thank you.
Thank you. 这个图片能看好吗？
可以，
Screen is okay. Okay, thank you.
It's okay.
Okay, hello everybody. Good evening. I really appreciate you spend time to join the meeting, but it's very important. I know I don't want to waste your time, but it's really needed because today we invite a few people to join this meeting. First, mainly the student who has the midterm exam is below 65%, one subject or more, and also some new students. We want to also share some our ideas of teaching, education system for our elite. So appreciate. So my topic for today is change the methodology, because now if you are below 60 or below 65, how do you know it? Because the test paper is with our student, so you have it. If you don't have now, you can ask your kids to have it, so you know how much they get. And I think somehow they have some it's needed to have some methodology change, and then they can study efficiently and they can have a better future. Okay, today, bonsoir. Moi, parler, c'est difficile pour moi parler en français parce que moi, français petit. So excuse me, I speak in English, but if you really have some question, you can ask in French. Vous parlez en français, demandez pour Madame Stella, elle est parle français and elle est attention à moi. I would like to every parent can have some get something from this meeting. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Okay, this is a lovely kids. Everybody is like right. It's good kids. I really like them. For the Quebec education system now, we always see today we can see from the elementary or primary or secondary or vocational training. But today I want to go see here job market first, because now many of my students, the previous students, they already come to job market. I'm so happy. Majority of my students are going well. They are working in the Microsoft. They are working in the banks. They are working in the like Air Canada. They are working in the Cambodia, like and you know, many of my students, they study lawyer and they are working in some lawyer firm, and many students join the hospital. So that's good, but also as a teacher, as a principal, I still feel sorry. Some of our students is not so good, like a majority. They are like, some of them even didn't graduate from secondary school, and there is no chance for them to go to the higher education. And some get to the education, but they still failed in somewhere, somehow. So I find those programs, I want to share some information to the student who I feel have some trouble now. And as long as we make some change, they will be good as the majority of my students to have a bright future. I'm really appreciate you, the student, to be my student, and the parents trust us to send your kids to elite. But it's also, it's a duty for me, for our school, to help each of my students, not only some of them, no, everybody, because they are genius. Everybody is good. But now, like say, even the exams, some students, like we have the award to them last week, even we give them the certificate, but some of the students didn't, and even not so good. But believe me, they are also a good student. Only the methodology needs some change, needs some adjustment. They will be great, believe me. If I think you can believe me, believe my words. That's why I want you like spend time. I'm sorry today my video is not working. Not means I'm shy to show my face to you. Sorry, my computer program. Then, you know, I know, but I know that like for them, for secondary period time, for the CGP, for the university time, what problems they face. And from though, I will tell them now what they can do for the future to have a better future. Okay, so now if you want to make your own achievement and contribute to your society, to the country, the wonderful country, Canada, you need to have a good job, and you have a, like you need studying to hard work, and you get an opportunity. Then normally, if you want to have a good job, you need to have the university degree. And if you want university degree, you should every step from CGP, secondary, primary, try to be a good student and have good scores. That's very important. Then you can achieve a very good future. So as I talk to my student, especially for the grade 5, for the preparing for the second entry exam, I tell them, I ask them whether you want to join the university later on. Every time, 100% of my students say yes. I said, okay, yes. So you should try to work. Is it good for you to work more a little bit? Yes, okay. But now the student already spent time, they sacrificed their weekend and they joined the elite college for weekend classes, but some of them not like progress enough. I feel sorry for that, but still I find we will try our best to have the excellent teachers. Actually, they are now, all the teachers I choose is really good. And our school, and especially our office, like Madame Ma, is like you can, if you sometimes join your kids' class, you can see, oh, there is a Madame Ma there. She's always watching each of the class and helping the student, helping the teacher to make a good class. And so now there is some chance I want you, the kid's father or kid's mother, to join us together to help the kids to be excellent. And they can, don't worry, they can. Only we need to do something. by our adults. So looking for the future, students, if they are in the primary or some of them even today, the secondary, they will face what kind of condition are needed to enter the society, to have a good job. Okay, how to choose a university and choose a major. If you want to go to university, there is a lot of conditions, like in addition to satisfy your personal hobby, you have a good physical fitness, social network, communication, and expression, and other basic skills are required. But however, the key point is academic performance. So if you don't have a good CGP score, if you don't have a secondary score, if you don't have the good primary school, you cannot join the upper level good education institutions. So the academic performance is very, very important for the key children and for the youngs. So that's why I want them, but now some of them don't have a very good score. We want them to do it. We want them to have a good score. That's the purpose. One of the main purpose today we have you to be here. Like university, how they choose a student? They use the R score. R score, they use the Z score, multiple IDGZ, and plus IFGZ, plus 5, and multiple 5. So this score is a student compared to the whole group or whole class, what's the level he is. And IDGZ is revert to the secondary level for this CGP group. Their secondaries, in their secondary, how this student compared to the secondary class student. And another indication is IFGZ is they want to see your class or your group is strong or not strong. If your class is very strong or not strong, we use the indicate IFGZ. That means if a student is very, very strong, but he is suppose like very, very strong, but he is in the normal school, like ranked 200, then he has a very, very, very good like for the IDGZ is very good, but because his class is not so strong, this indication is not so strong. That means you can have higher, but you lower here, so balanced. But in another case, if a student is very, very strong, like in the genre or the international school, and he is not so strong as they score in the class because every student is so strong. And for the secondary, he is coming from the like international school, so he has a not so strong for this score in the secondary too. But because he's a strong class, so this one will be higher. This one is a little bit lower, but this one is a little bit higher. So he has a good score also. That is more like reasonable to choose a best student to join the university. But you see, they will see your CGP score, and they want to also see your secondary score. That means if you want to go to university, your score is like, even for secondary also is important. So, and also if you want to graduate, because if you don't graduate and don't have the secondary graduation certificate, you are not able to apply for the higher education. You need to have 54 credits over, like more than 54. And also you need all the subjects should be higher than 60%. Some of the main courses should be included in the 54 scores, like your mother tongue, like French or math, or your secondary one, math, French or English or math, and science, mathematics, history, arts, education, physics, and culture, religion. Some of them will be the provincial exam. Some of them are examined by the school, their own school. So if you have this bulletin, which is sent by the government, the Ministry of Education, you can find this is an excellent student. His science is like 4 credit, is 98, is a test result, and which is 2014 and 6 months. And this is not for the class, that's not for the school exam, this is for provincial exam. So it's like in the provincial, like they divide the student for 100 groups. So this student is a 99 group. That means one of the top students. So like this one, okay, French for 6 credit, and he got 80%, and he's study for 6 months. So like French, because 3 catalog, so he's in the 5 groups, is in the 3, 2, like first 2, second group, the middle group, or second group. That is also a good score, but it's not so strong. That is especially some students, they are very, very strong in the math and science, but they are not so strong in the language. My Chinese community student, many of them like this. They are very, very strong, but their language is still not so strong. That's why we will talk about the language, the importance of the language. Okay, so how to analyze the bulletin, the transcription. For the elite college, we have the exam, like we just passed the exam and we already give some good excellence certificate to the student, but some students are not so strong. French, we have reading comprehension, grammar, and writing. Writing, we do it by the student present to the class, and the teacher and the student classmates make the presentation and make the comments. It is good for the student and for his classmates to in the future writing is good for them to have this kind of, it's very good. Mathematics, we have math and logic. But for the, so how can you know the elite college result? Actually, is with your kids. So you can get it from your kids and see how much they get. Today, some of the students really need to pay attention because they are not so strong, not so good. And also, another source is the bulletin from their local school. Like they have French for lire, that means read, as the writing, and communicate oral, the communication, oral communication. Mathematics, they have like French, there is 2 categories. We use English to solve a situation problem, and use mathematical reasoning. So the difference of those subdivision of each, like French or math, also indicate some different of the student situation. So the ministry has made some change for their transcript. This year they will give 2 instead of 3 because it's in the special time. So they will give 1 in January. That means now you cannot get it. And the second one will in July 10th. But for the good communication with the parents, they give 2 communication to the parents. Also is a report, but not so formal like the bulletin. It's November 19th, that means next week. And the second one will be April, late of April. So when you get the communication letter or the report bulletin, then you can see how is your kid's really situation. But now, at least you know how is he or her study in elite. Then I think we need to pay more attention as parents. So this bulletin, you can see I use it as a sample. Like the student for the reading is like 46, 71, 60, 66, 63, and 70, 55. Is like not so good. Writing also like 59, like 64, like also not so good. Communication not so good. So his average, his result is 51, 65. But the class average is like 75, 80. Like in the final, is like he got 64, but the class is 78. This is really a weak student. Like mathematics, he got like for the final of grade 3, he got 77, but the average is 79 in the class. And grade 4, his math is going up, 84, but the average is 81. So this student needs to pay more attention in her study because he or she is not so strong. Okay, so when you have the bulletin, you know what you need to do. Okay, I will tell more a little bit. I give you another one. Sorry, I wrote some in Chinese, but it's okay. I can explain to you. This student, he is like it's French reading is lire is 86, and writing is 77, and communication is 91. He got a result is 83, and the higher than the average 82. For the mathematics, like for the problem solving, he got 80%, but the reasoning of mathematics, he got 95. So his result is 91, and 3% higher than the middle, the mean of the class, average of the class. But this student, I can tell you, is quite special. He is now in the private school of Gendarmerie in South Shore, and he joined his elite college, and he has many private tutors. But still, you see, he got 77, is not so strong. And he got 8, is not so strong because he spent a lot of time. So even a good student, you can still, from the bulletin, you can find some problem. This student's main problem is he has a lot of help, good teachers, like from primary, from elite, even from other tutoring, but he is not so strong because he don't do something like knowledge accumulation by himself. That's I want to say that the weak student and even the looks like a strong student, they still need some change of the methodology to be excellent. So now we on the view of the point of our kids' future, we should do some work now. Okay, the common problem or common obstacles of the student is language. They said the important things should be repeated for 3 times. But some teachers said, oh, Bradley, my family speaks French, and my kids' French won't be a problem. But I said sometimes no. Like, not all the French people can write the French good article and even good poem, good thesis, because you can have a good communication, but not necessarily you have a good, really good language. So all the students, either you are primary or secondary or even the CJ for university, you should try to work on the 2 legs. The first is teacher's guidance. So without teacher, a student won't be very good. It's difficult if you study by yourself. Everything by yourself is not so easy. And also, you should, very, very important is self-accumulation, which I said that student, the previous student, is no good. He's good enough, but he's not so good enough is because he has a lot of good teacher to help him, but he don't have enough self-accumulation. So when I know this situation, I saw this bulletin, I asked the parents to make some change, reduce some private tutors is not necessary, because for language, class is better than the tutor, not for saving money, but for the efficiency. And give the kids more time to let him to do something by himself to accumulate his knowledge. So I've said, okay, like a fridge. Fridge is like the brain, our kids' brain. Some kids have a lot of things in the brain, some kids not too much. So like a fridge. So some kids brain like this fridge, some kids brain like this fridge. So you can imagine, if you are a good chef and you are a famous chef, but if you find the fridge like this, what you can cook? Nothing, because you don't have the materials to make the good cook, to make the good dish. Okay, but for this one, for this fridge, if you are new chef, or even like the student's father or mother, you will never learn any cooking, but you can make a good food because you have enough material. Then you can make good food. So that's why I said sometimes there is a very, very good chef, but they don't have enough by them self-accumulation. That is no good. But if they have a good teacher, a good chef, but at the meantime, they have enough material in their brain, then will be excellent. Okay, the teacher will help you to be strong, okay? But in the same teacher, same class, same school, this student could be strong enough and good enough, but this student won't. Why? Because he learned in the class, he do in the class, he do the homework also, but he don't accumulate some knowledge by himself, and he makes some good study methodology. He don't, like he listen to the teacher carefully. He sometimes maybe not. He do the homework, he maybe not. He read a lot of books, storybooks even, he don't. So then as same teacher, the two students, the future is different. So why we see need two legs. One leg is like the teacher, okay, like the student, they have a good teacher, like in the good school or even normal school is also, we have good teachers, like in the elite, good teacher. But self-accumulation, this student doing very well. So he can jump, he can work for 3 kilometers, but it's difficult for him to make jump because this leg is not strong. He don't do self-accumulation enough. So he needs like work with some help. So that's why I want to share this idea to the parents, to the student again and again and again, because this is very, very important. It's sometimes beyond our school, beyond my hand. I cannot help too much. Only way I need my student to do the good way, change your methodology, and the parents make some change, and our student will be excellent. So believe me, they will be good as long as we try our best, try our thing, not necessarily best, try the way to help our kids, okay? So what, how should students learn to be truly effective? Okay, what does the self-accumulation include? Vocabulary. Some students have a very, very good vocabulary, some not. Reading speed, and the mind, they have a lot of ideas and they can make a good composition, but some of the students don't. The main way to accumulate your vocabulary and improve your accumulate your knowledge is reading the books. Reading books can increase your vocabulary. You can increase your speed, reading speed, and give you more ideas because you read more books. Each book, each author give you different ideas, and you can make a good composition. So, except join our class, which our teachers will do their duty, and our school do our duty, and the student need to do their own accumulation, which is you cannot count on the class. You need to do it in the spare time. And also the parents, because kids are still young, the parents have the duty to help them to do it good. Some parents ask me whether you can give me a book list. I said no, because I want the student to read the books they like. This is very important. And secondly, they choose the books without dictionary. They can understand the book, which means there is some new words, but not too much. If you have too much new words, then they have no interest in to continue. But we want them to get used to read the books and write resume. So also some teachers say, do we need to correct the resume? I said, no, not necessary. From my almost 20 years experience, I can tell you it's not necessary, because as long as the student read more books, write more resume, after 2-3 months, you will find the change. You can see the change. And sometimes if you always make the correction, it's no good, because somehow you discourage the student. Oh, you see, you write only 10 lines, and you have like 15 mistakes. It's normal. Let it go. Let it go. As long as they keep it going, someday they will be better. They have less mistake for the grammar. They have a better ED, better ideas to write, and they have a good quality of their writing. So just let them keep doing. That's very important. And that's why I find some student, like the second and fourth student, called me. He said, "Mommy, could you call the elite college? I need help." The mom said, "Oh, you want help, and you are motivated to study. I'm okay." He just tell me. Then I asked my student, which is my previous student. I said, "Do you keep reading? Because when you were in my school, I always ask you, encourage you to read." "Yeah, you did." I know he did a lot. I said, "Are you keep reading?" "No, sorry, I didn't." So now he has a problem. Second of all, he has a writing big problem. He has a lot of mistakes. His idea is not so good, and the writing is not good. So the teacher really unhappy with him. So now that's why secondary is more like time. Many students don't have a lot of time. So we want the student in the primary to have the good study habit, good study way, then they will be good. Okay. So how can be a good student? It's very easy to be a good student, but also it's not so easy, because some of the students cannot get it, cannot do it properly. In that case, student, I encourage you try your best, and also I encourage the parents, help them to have a good study. To be a good student, they should attend the class. Some students, join. Sometimes they don't attend, they forget. Sometimes they join, but they playing games. So that's no good. And take class notes. That's very important. And make the family study schedule. That means that when they come to home, they should do the homework and make their own study. Review and make summary of the class. Do homework. That's very, very important, because this is a chance for you to review what you learned from the class. That's why they give you the homework, and the teacher will correct the homework in the following class. So remember, never give up without trying. Some students, they do the homework. Oh, it's so difficult. Forget about it. That sometimes block you to be progressed. So it needs to be try, and really you cannot get it. Okay, I keep it, and I ask the teacher from the next class. That's a very, very good way. And so the methodology is efficient. Like the first type of student, they just join the class, but even don't do the homework. This kind of student definitely below 60, because they lost a lot, because they cannot like remember everything from the class and without any review. So the second kind of student, they join the class and review. This is a good student, but they won't be the excellent student, because the third kind of student, they review, they join class and do the homework and review, and have extracurricular reading and writing resume, writing the summary. So that will be normally should be a strong student. So I was reported by Madame Mar that some students, we ask them each 2 weeks to write a resume, but when we have the 10th week and ask them to submit their resume, they do it one day, because they didn't do it on time. That is no good. But even the parents don't know the case. So what are you doing as a father, or what are you doing as a mother? You should try to understand, but the details, how we ask the student, Madame Ma will have a presentation for you for details. So if the student can even have time to pre-study the material before the class, even better. So this article, how can parents help the kids improve and succeed in their study? You can get it from our website. It's I wrote it a long time ago, and update several times already. It will help you, especially for the reading a book. Writing a resume is very important. So we looking to the future. We should do some work now. We join the class, either your school, like St. Clement or whatever, or St. Laurent in South Shore, or even like some schools, all the schools you join the class, or even some class for our elite. So you join the class, which is teacher's guidance. So this is one leg. But you need to have another leg, is read. After read, sure, you write a resume. So now I want to emphasize again that beside the class, you should read. That will be self-accumulate your knowledge and your vocabulary and the reading speed, and make a good writing. That is very, very necessary for our student. Please, as long as you do it well, you have 2 legs, you can jump, you can run faster. But if you have only 1 leg is strong, 1 leg is not strong, it's a big problem. Okay, at the meantime, I want to advise our parents. Sorry, I didn't, it's like, okay, the kids is like, oh, as a parent, you have this kind of hope. Your kids, woo, like aircraft, go to the mountain. But the students, their own plan is like they're bicycling. But the reality is they have a lot of falls. There is a Zandam, they have the rain, they have the fall, and pitfall something. So this is the reality. So in that means that time, if you find your kid's bulletin or the result of our elite exam is not so good, I really hope we stand with the kids and to beat the problem, not stand with the problem to beat our kids. That is no good. Because as I said today and emphasized again and again, the methodology of our kids maybe needs some change. And as long as we have a good methodology, our kids will be excellent, believe me. But we need to be patient as a parents, because sometimes somewhere, somehow is not the fault only from our kids, also from our school. That's why I ask you join our meeting. I want to share with some ideas for our school, and also comes from the parent, because your neglect or your way to help your kids is not so good. That's the result, not only the fault of our kids. Thank you for your understanding. That's important, because our kids, they are also not happy if they not have a bad score. So, and you punish them, that is unfair. Okay, try to understand our kids too. Okay, because we have our ideas like before. This is idea. It's like I said, it's a long time ago. I had this idea, and we have very good result for the people, for my student who is already joined the job market, for the student in the university, for the student in the CGIP, for the student in the secondary, and even primary. So as long as we have some, so majority of our students, they achieve an excellent result. Like they have so many like students accepted by the top schools. Actually, it's the majority of my students. But as long as you are my student, I hope each of you, all of you, not only majority of you, to be excellent. I want all of you to be excellent, and you can, as long as you make a good way of study. Even like last year, we have many students to be accepted by the gender above, like gender above 53, like Mont Saint Louis 14, Notre Dame 28, Regina 44. This is only half of like 275 student response. We have another half we didn't like do the further investigate the statistics. So I know our way is good. So believe me, I hope your kids and the parents also can get some idea from our educational methodology. So now thanks so much, and I will give the time to Madame Ma to present how we work with in the class. Okay, then after that, we will answer the questions. As long as you have any question, you can write it in the chat. We try to answer you after. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Madame Ma.
Okay. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Thank you for the parents come to our meeting tonight. Today, I will want to present the programs of Alikaj, because some parents maybe they are the first times to send the children here. They don't know how it works. And first, I want to tell you the goal of Alikaj is not only to teach them the basic knowledge, but also we hope to have a better improves their learning ability. You know, if a child is more independent, they will make great achievements in their study. First, I will tell you about how to study in Alikaj. First, the student or the parents should know how to use our calendar. Our calendar you can find in our website, and also in the second week of the school, we also send the calendar by chat to every student. So I hope the parents can help the students know how to study and how to use the calendar. In the calendar, you can see this section, we have 15 weeks, and we have twice exam. And also, we have a lot of resume You can see resume. It means we need the students to read a book every 2 weeks after to write their resume, once every 2 weeks. So if you don't know when they need to hand in the resume, you can check our calendar. So one of the parents tries to help the kids how to use our calendar and try to help them to how to manage their time. Because sometimes I find a student, they don't do their homework. When I ask them why they don't do the homework, they say, oh, we have a lot of our school homework. We have no time to do any homework. I think you just come every weekend. The homework you can do Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday. But a lot of students, they do the homework last minute, Friday evening, and after that cannot finish. So try to manage the time well, when to do their school homework, when to do the college the homework. If they don't do the homework or they don't review the material, it's difficult to understand the teacher in the class. Every course, every class is after class, the teacher will give the student homework. The teacher sometimes write the homework by share screen to the student, do the homework which page to which page. Some teacher, they send by chat to the student. But I found a lot of students, they don't do the note, they don't record the homework. After the teacher close the Zoom class, they cannot remember which page they need to do. And also some students, maybe when the teacher tell them the homework is which page to which page, they can remember at that time, but after they forget it. So every week, when we ask the student why you don't do the homework, some always find some students say, I forget which page I need to do that. So I hope the parents can try to help the student, teach them how to do how to take the note in the class, and also how to solve the problems. Because sometimes if you don't know what's the homework, maybe you can ask us or ask the friend or ask the student in the class. And some students, I found they don't do the homework. That's because they found maybe it's too difficult. And or maybe in the class, they cannot follow the teacher. So if you have some problems with the study, you can send by chat to me, or you can send ask the teacher during the break, because we have the break time. Of course, some teacher they needs to take a break. You cannot take too much time, but a few minutes I think is okay. And also they can ask their friends in the class during the break. I think all the students they like to help each other. So don't let the problems. If I don't know, I just put the material aside. If I don't know what's the homework, I just put it aside. From one, if they have a lot of times to missing the homework or the missing the class, I think it's no good for their study. So if they have problems, try to contact with me or something. And also for our teaching material, this semester we have 15 weeks. So we will distribution. We will have twice distribution of the materials. We will send the first part of the material at the beginning of the class. It will use from the first week until the middle exam. And In the middle, we have one exam. Before the exam, we will send the second part of the material to the parents. So the parents need to check your email well. If you don't receive the documents or the teaching materials, you should contact us by email as soon as possible. But at the last minute, and when the class begins, they enter the class, they find they don't have the material, and they ask the teacher in the class. And the teacher has to find the material and send by chat to you, and it takes too much time, and it's no good. So try to check your email every time. If you don't receive the material, send by email to us. And how to use the material? The material is for class. For example, for the French, we have three, grade 5 and grade 4. Usually we have 3 books. One is grammar, one is reading comprehension, one is grammar. Sometimes this week, maybe the teacher teach grammar. Next week, they teach the reading comprehension. Anyway, I hope the students can review, prepare the material before the class. If you prepare your material before the class, it will help you to understand the teacher when the teacher explained. So that's about the material. And for the exam, for the exam we have for French and English we have composition exam and grammar, writing, grammar and reading comprehension exam, and math exam also. So you can check the calendar. When the calendar will write exam, it means this day is the composition exam. For example, last time we have the exam 24 October 24. So it means on that day we will have the composition exam. We send the title of the exam to the teacher, the subject to the teacher before this date. So the parents should check whether the student finish before 23 or 24. If your class is Sunday, before 24. So be sure they write their composition before this date. Because on 23 or 24, the teacher will check their writing by orders, one by one. If they didn't write before the class, they have no time to write it, or they just write a few, they don't have enough time, they just write a few sentences. It's not helpful for them. So check whether they finish the composition writing before the class. And in the class, when the teacher asks the student one by one to do the presentation or oral by Zoom, share screen by Zoom. After the teacher will collect in the class one by one. For example, they will check the collect the composition by the comments, collect their grammar mistake, check their sentences. So by listening the comments of the teacher to other students, the student can learn a lot from the teacher. So even if the oral oral classes, they need to present the class and listen to the teacher carefully. And after that exam, the following day will be the exam for the math or the French grammar or reading comprehension. So our office will send the writing exam Monday 25. So the teacher, the parents should ask the students, do the exam at home from Monday to Friday, finish the exam. And on that day, the exam, the last day is the exam day. So you will receive the exam paper December 13th. So you have to print out the exam paper, ask your child to finish the exam paper before the last day of the class. So on October 18th, the teacher will collect the exam paper in class. If they don't do the exam before this day, in the class, when the teacher collect the paper, they didn't do it, they know nothing. After maybe some students, they will copy the teacher's answer and then give a note. Oh, I got 100%. No, it's not a real result. We want the student, the real result. In this way, we will know how much they learned or not. So the last exam, pay attention. Yeah, the October 11 is the the composition exam. The last day is the math exam and the grammar exam. So after they finish the writing composition or they finish the exam paper, they have to send their paper to mail@alikaj.ca. We suggest you to ask your child to send the exam paper to us, because sometimes we can check whether they do the exam paper before the class, and also we want to check whether their result is real, because some students didn't do the exam before that, and after they copy and give us, oh, I got 100% of the exam. And if we say, oh, the student is not good in class, I don't believe he got 100%. And in this way, we can go to check the email, check the exam paper, and collect again, and we will note whether the result is real or not. Okay, at the beginning of this section, we go to the class to tell the student they need to read a book every 2 weeks after write a resume. Because we suggest the students to read more after class to enlarge their knowledge. Yeah. So in the calendar, you can find the day, which day they need to write the resume. And after they can send, after they finish the resume, they can send to mail@alikaj.ca. Last time, when they finished the third resume, we went to the classrooms to ask for the booklet of the resume. A lot of students sent to us, but still have some students, they didn't write any words. It's no good. And last week I went to the school, went to the class again, because they need to write the fourth resume. This week will be the fifth resume. So I hope the parents can check whether your child finished the resume already or no. If they didn't do that, change their bad habit. Yeah, they must follow the rule of the school. Yeah. And also in the class, we suggest the students to open the camera during the classes, because in this way we can check whether the student listen to the teacher or whether they are in class. But some students, they always close, turn off the camera, and when I send by chat, please open your camera, and they open it. After a few minutes, they turn off again. in one or 2 hours, the words in this a few times with me. I say it's no good because the needs to listen to the teacher is not put the attention to the child, and always ask him open, and when I'm not there, they turn off again. So if I find they do in this way a few times, maybe I have to put the student out of the class in the waiting room of the class, and after a few minutes, I will let him in. So tell the students keep the camera open during the class, otherwise they might be moved out of the class. And in the class, we want the students to keep your homes a little bit quiet, because always have some student, their house make noise, the cry of their sister, brothers, or the call of their parents. So it's no good, too much noise. And also, we also suggest the student, when they answer the question, it's better by raise their hand. No, they cannot answer the questions without the permission of the teacher. If everybody speak at the same time, it will be very noise in the class. So okay, sometimes I'm in the class, I will mute the students, or I will move the student out to the class. In this way, our teachers can teach well in the class. And talking about the resume, because I found a lot of parents send me the resume, didn't follow our ruler. You check. I show you the resume. At the beginning of the class, we send this resume to all the parents. The booklet, this booklet to all the parents at the beginning of the class. In this booklet, this is the Daniela in grade 5. He did a good job. In this resume, we have the day, in which day they need to write the resume. For example, September 11, they need the first resume, and the second resume, this is the second one. So they must follow our follow the days to write the resume. And when the parents send the resume to me, you should send the whole booklet to me. Because sometimes, for example, this week, you should finish the 4th resume. But sometimes I want to check your choice, the first resume, I can go back. Sometimes I don't check only the last resume. I can go back to check the first 2 or first 3 whether they do well. So be sure, send me the whole booklet. This is the words, so you can download and you can send the whole booklet to me. In this way, I can check well whether they finish the resume. I found a lot of parents send me only the picture. There's one student send me 3 times the same picture. When I asked the third resume, they send the first one, the second one, they're all the same. So I cannot accept this way. So the parents should help the student write the resume in a booklet and send me the booklet. Okay, that's what I talk about for today's our programs and our homework and our resume. And if you have some question, you can ask us. Yeah. And if you have problem in the class, you can send the message to me also, because every day I check the class. I check every class the chart. If the student have the question, they always send by chat to me. Okay. Okay, thanks. I'm finished. If you have a question, you can send to us.
Thank you. Okay, Charles.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Ma. Yeah, actually, I saw a few questions. If you have a question, we can continue to discuss. One question is about like students newly come, and he want to join the good secondary school, and is very good in mathematics, but it's very unfortunate. Either French school or if you are eligible for English school, or you pay some higher education fee for the private English school, the language is still the most important, because so the only way sometimes usually for primary 1 year, sometimes 2 years for welcome class, but for the secondary normally is for 2 years. But my student, I try to help them to finish this welcome class in 1 year and send them to the private schools. So maybe you can call us in the our office phone number, then they can tell me. I can discuss with you, because it's too much different situations. The number is 514-303-8237, as Madam Ma showed you. And we have other questions like, okay, we want students to have a good balance for study and for the gym exercises. That is a very good question, because we need to balance. Kids are growing; they need to have a good health, but at the meantime, they need a good study. That sometimes, especially primary, is not so much complicated, because really there are plenty of time. School, like finish school around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They can use like 2 hours for playing and exercises, 2 hours for study. Each day is still possible. So it's not too much conflict. But for secondary, they have much duty in study, much time spent on study. So they still need to, like one class, one day, I think 2 weeks ago, in the English class, I talked to a student. I said, I have a question for you. 1 + 7 is larger than 8. Is it a good question? Normally say is no good, because 7 + 1 is equal to 8. How can it be larger than 8? I said, okay, that is something which I know in my university study time. 1 hour's exercise, sport, plus 7 hours study, the efficiency result is better than 8 hours study. But looks like this is university. For the primary students, they need more time to join the sports and to play. Play also is very important for the kids, because they are children. Children is children, not allowed. They need some time to play. But at the meantime, good study ought will help them to have a good, they can have a good, they can believe themselves, and they are proud of themselves. So we need to make some balance. Okay. Also, if you have a question, maybe Stella, you can open the speaker for them. And I have a few other questions. Okay. Like if a student is accepted by a school, which is like top 10, and another school maybe is top 20, but is beyond 10. And the beyond 10 is a nearby home, and the top 10 is a little bit far from home. Which one should choose? That's really depends. Depend on your family situation. Depend on the kids. The key situation is very important. So sometimes after like now, I quite get some calls from the parents. They get some advice. That is really different. I can't answer you by the public situation because each family and each student is different. And this is for their like at least 5 years study for the secondary and also for the future direction. So if you really meet this kind of problem, try to give me a call or send me email. As long as you're a student of, you have kids in our school, you have our email. You send any email, you receive our information, then they will direct to whoever is responsible for answer the question. So this is the kind of question they can refer to me, and you put your kid's name and put the phone number there. I will try to contact with you and get some suggestions for you. Okay, and for the writing, some parents said, okay, my kids write some resume, but some I really didn't do it. I hope parents can have some time to communicate with your kids and try to ask them whether you did it. But whether you need to make the correction, as I said in the tonight, it's not necessary and there's no need indeed. I already said that, believe me, within already 20 years, I really don't encourage the teacher or my office to make the correction for the resumes. You know, even my kids, I have my son, my daughter was studied in our school. I never make any correction for them for their resume, but the writing, the name, the topic writing, that sometimes we need to make the correction, and we need to give the methodology for the student. But for the resume, which is self-accumulation, is as long as keep doing, after 2-3 months, you will find some good result. So do we have other questions? You can raise your hand. Stella?
Yeah, the parents, if you you can
have any
if you have question,
you
you can open your microphone. Si vous avez des questions, vous pouvez activer votre micro pour demander des questions.
Really, thanks a lot for joining us. I hope today these ideas I shared with you is useful for you, and I know this is very, very, very important because my students in the CGIP, in the university, and in the secondary, they made some problem is because they didn't do a good methodology. That's why I want to share with you some of the ideas I want to emphasize again and again. You know, it's very, very important to the student. So as I said, it's you see, like the bulletin, as long as you find the bulletin, you will get some idea, and it's very important you keep remember for the fridge and the chef, the brain and the teacher, and the 2 legs. If they are strong both legs, is good. If it's only 1 leg is good, it's not good. So self-accumulation is increase the vocabulary. Some kids make the memorize like this. The one question said, okay, my kids are just coming. I said the first step is make a good vocabulary. Try to accumulate more vocabulary. Even make some memorize at the very beginning for first 1,000 or 2,000 words. Then you keep more reading, you will get it. Okay. So as I said, the class and read, don't forget. And I wrote it here, language is always the most important. Even you have very strong mathematics, it's almost useless because you cannot do the history, you cannot do the science, you cannot do the religion, you cannot do the other course well. So language is the most important. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. Hope you have a good evening. Thank you, Madam Mar. Thank you, Stella. Have a good evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Good evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.